Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for joining us, part of our new series for 2021. For those of you who are new to our webinar series here at NACME, we'd like to welcome you all. My name is Kevin Smith. I'm one of the program managers here at NACME. I would like to welcome all of you once again, for either new or returning, to the kickoff of our first webinar of the 2021 new year. As usual, our webinars are sponsored by both our board members and some of our other corporate partners in order to help engage us with some of our career readiness for all of our NACME scholars. And in this particular case, we normally do technical tracks and professional development tracks, and beginning in the summer, academic excellence tracks as well. But for right now, we're going to do a part of our early series of our professional development track. We are very fortunate to have a wonderful corporate partner from Chevron who is hosting our presentation today. Ms. Calicia, did I get it right? Johnson?
Calicia.
I almost got to say I messed it up intentionally. We have Ms. Calicia Johnson. She's going to do our presentation this day on the power of being LinkedIn in general. So on that note, just want to give you a couple of housekeeping rules for everyone. Number one, we always remind people that this meeting is being recorded. So make sure if you got your backgrounds going on, you got something, your backgrounds are appropriate. If anything, maybe put up your background for your school colors or logos or things of that nature to highlight or represent some of your affinity organizations. So make sure you know that's being recorded. Two, we encourage you to turn on your cameras to participate and help engage with the audience. Number three, everyone is muted right now, but we've had some agreements with our facilitator that she's going to do her presentation in segments. So right now you're muted. When we get to the break of the first segment, we'll unmute you so you can ask questions directly via audio or on camera, or we can also give you the option of putting things in the chat, and we'll also take that and forward that to our facilitating presenter. At the end of the workshop, after you finish doing Q&A and we do some quick PSA announcements about our sponsoring organization, you will receive a post-webinar survey, and we ask that you complete that and fill that out as soon as you can today. And in addition, we're also going to share some of a handout prepared and developed by our workshop facilitator to give you more details to review after the presentation. So thank you everyone for joining us. Again, get those cameras on and the mics will be turned on in between the presentation segments. And on that note, I'm going to turn it over to you, Ms. Johnson.
Thank you so much, Kevin. I'm just going to briefly touch on Chevron's scholarship. So Chevron is a proud partner with NACME, and starting in March, you'll be able to go to your career center at your university to pick up the Chevron scholarship. So applications will be available in March. There is no GPA requirement. Everyone is welcome to apply, but the majors that we're targeting this year are chemical engineering, mechanical engineering, electrical, computer science, data science, MIS, and IT. There will be an essay, so my advice to you is just to be sure to clearly articulate your accomplishments and your interest in Chevron. You'll be surprised at how many essays we receive from students for a Chevron scholarship, but their essays speak to other industries and other companies. So be sure to focus your essay on your Chevron interests to best position yourself to be selected as a scholar. So I just wanted to throw that out there. But without further ado, let's just jump right into LinkedIn. That's what you all are here for. So good afternoon again, and thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Calicia Johnson. I am a mechanical engineer at Chevron, and I'm really excited about this topic because I absolutely love LinkedIn. It is my favorite social media platform, and I have received so many awesome opportunities from it and connected with some amazing people in various industries and locations. I'm no way affiliated with LinkedIn, so everything I discuss and share today are opinions of my own. So I personally joined LinkedIn back in 2012 when I was looking for a job, and I was a very passive user. I only used it to look for jobs. It wasn't until 2 or 3 years ago that I started to realize the true power of the platform. People used to always ask me what I did at work, so I just started posting pictures of my day-to-day, and that's how I really got started using LinkedIn. But shortly thereafter, I realized that LinkedIn is more than just looking for a job. You can really connect with people and build relationships on LinkedIn. So I'm excited to share what I've learned with all of you to enhance your personal brand and develop professionally. So LinkedIn, if you didn't know, LinkedIn has over 700 million members, and they're also in over 200 countries. Their mission is simple: to connect the world's professionals to make them more productive and successful. So I really want you to think of LinkedIn as your personal Rolodex. Don't think of LinkedIn as only a place to look for jobs. So if you're only using LinkedIn as a digital resume holder or to only look for jobs, you're really missing out on the hundreds of potential opportunities that there are available. So let's just jump right in. And I know everyone is at a different level in their LinkedIn journey. So I'm just gonna start with the profile and then we can dig into the deeper topics. And I have received the questions that you all submitted ahead of time. So thank you to everybody that submitted questions in advance. Hopefully the presentation will answer your questions, but feel free to pop some more questions in the chat if you need some clarification on anything. So let's just jump right in. So the first thing I want you to do is make sure that you customize your LinkedIn profile URL. You want to do this because more than likely you'll be sharing it quite a bit and you want to make it easy for people to find you. So you use it while you're going to be job searching. Most people include it on top of their resume instead of having their physical address. So you want to use it to connect with others. And you can do that here where it says edit public profile URL. So you'll just click on that, another screen will pop up, and this is where you will edit your custom URL. The default will have a bunch of numbers at the end. So you see this is my first name and last name, so feel free to make it something that you can remember or something easy, whether it's your first initial last name, then first name, whatever you want, just make sure that to get rid of the numbers there. Okay, let's talk about profile pictures and cover photos. So important. A quick glance at your photo and someone can form their first impression of you in a matter of seconds. I know I personally do not accept invites from people who do not have a profile picture, and I've heard many others say the same. So it doesn't have to be super professional with a suit and tie, just something high quality, something to show personality. Same thing for the cover photo. So let's look at some examples really quickly. So look at this example. Let me know what you think of it in the chat. What are some things that you noticed about her profile picture and her cover photo? Somebody says a little silly. Yep. Thanks, Alexis. Characteristic, personality shines right through. Yep. A bit conflicting, banner is more serious. Yeah, but you get, it's kind of fun, right? A fun background, and she's enhancing her personal brand. You immediately are drawn to the blue and the different colors in her profile picture and in her cover photo. Let's look at another one. Let's look at Aaron's. So Aaron is, we just based, not even looking at his title, we can just look at his cover photo and see that he knows how to code, right? So he uses the cover photo to convey his interest and really show off his personality. You see his cover photo, it says, I used to rap, produce beats, explore subway tunnels, drive 18-wheelers. You know, he's letting us know more about him in a really creative way. So that's another example. He just has a clear white background and he's smiling in his picture. Nothing too fancy. And then let's look at one more example of Ashley. Your cover photo doesn't have to be anything, you know, spectacular. I like skylines, so I chose a skyline for mine. Just be sure to change it from the default. Here, Ashley, you know, is showing maybe a view from her office or a picture of a Microsoft campus at where she works. So don't underestimate the use of a simple photo that makes you happy. And then one more is from Georgia. Hers is very simple. I love the black and white photo that she has. It really complements her cover photo. So these are just a few examples of photo and cover photos. And keep in mind that if you do change your cover photo, you can use a software like Canva to really personalize your cover photo. And just be sure to check it on both the mobile and the desktop version, because it may shrink on the mobile version, just to make sure that all your words are there. So let's now move to the headline. So let me just give you all an example. I'm going to search computer science. And I'm going to filter on people. So let's see, fellow of computer science and data science at Rice University, Bachelor of Science in Computer Science, senior computer science student, computer science, Rice. Do you see any key differentiators here in all the students' titles here? Does any of them stand out to you at all? Bachelor of Science in Computer Science, Master of Computer Science, Sophomore Computer Science. I don't see anything that different besides the school that they go to. That's, to me, that's the only differentiator I see. So the message here is you are more than just your major at your school. Instead of just putting your major in your school in your headline, make sure you're using all 220 characters in your headline. Add the value that you bring, or add keywords for the jobs that you're seeking and the role that you're currently in your headline. You can say, I help organizations with XYZ. Or if you can put some keywords in there like Python, R, data analytics, machine learning, C++, Java, JavaScript, I'm an app developer. Add some more context in your headline so that people know what your skill set is. If I'm a recruiter looking for a computer science student, none of these students stand out to me because they just have computer science in their university. I know nothing about their skill set. So be sure to use that. Let's look at some examples. So Austin, read his headline and tell me if you know what his skill set is. He says, I help people land amazing jobs without applying online. Need help with your job search? Let's talk. It's very clear what he's doing, right? And let's look at one more example. Latanya is a business coach, so she chose to use keywords: business coach and mentor, brand growth expert, entrepreneur consultant, brand strategist, lawyer. So you can go either way. Either you can say, I help organizations with XYZ, or use keywords. Highlight your skills. If you're in software development, tell us. If you like machine learning, tell us. If you like being hands-on and solving problems, make sure that all of that is in your headline. You can even pull keywords from job descriptions. If you go to jobs, the job tab, let's just search computer science intern. We can scroll down and let's see. Let's look at this Apple job description. And we'll go scroll down to the education and experience. So they want a BS or MS in computer science, computer engineering, and then additional requirements. Highly desirable to have knowledge of distributed data processing platforms, Hive, Spark. These are keywords that if you have experience in those, make sure they're in your headline, because if I'm a recruiter at Apple, for this software engineering intern, I'm looking for candidates that have this skill set in the additional requirements. So you can always use the job description to find keywords to put in your headline. Okay, so let's go back to my profile and talk about the summary section. So when someone visiting your profile has already seen some great pictures and an awesome headline, so scrolling down to your summary is the natural next best step. The about section, sorry, instead of your summary. So this about section is your pitch section. So this is where you're going to sell yourself. You can add more background and context. You can highlight your abilities, include some measurable results. Maybe you've increased membership of your student organization by 30%. Or you reduce the cost by 70%. Try to add some numbers in there to show your value. You can also include some fun facts about yourself. Here, I start with one of my favorite quotes that I live by. So if you have a favorite quote, mention it there. You can also include some keywords, but just make sure you sell yourself. Try to put things in there that's maybe not on your resume, just so people can learn more about you and who you are. Okay. Next is the featured section, which is here. So if you don't currently have this, I think you just go to the top of your page and add a section as a featured section. In this section, you can include your favorite post, PDFs, all kind of links for PDF, PowerPoint presentation, Word documents, photos from student organizations. Maybe you have a picture of you speaking to your class that you want to post. You can post extracurricular activities on here. If you have a portfolio of work, you can attach that here. Projects, if you were in your school's newspaper or someone did an article about you, also post that here. Post pictures of you receiving an award. You can post whatever you think is important to you and you think will be interesting for others to see in this featured section. And if you can think of a post that you really liked, I'm gonna show you how to post it. So if you made a post before, let me see. You'll just click on these 3 buttons up here, and then the first selection is feature on the top of your profile. So if you have a previous post that you want to feature, just go to the 3 buttons on the top right and click on feature on the top of your profile, and it will add it to your featured section automatically. So I think this is super important because it's the next step after your summary to just see some highlights of you as a person and what you've done in the community or at work or wherever. So now we're going to keep scrolling to the experience section. So I tell students all the time, include all the jobs that you have, whether you think it's relevant or not. During one of my recruiting sessions, I had a student who worked at Chick-fil-A in high school, but they didn't have that on their resume because they didn't think it was relevant to mechanical engineering. But I had to remind them, you know, I love Chick-fil-A, so I love the fact that you worked at Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A has amazing customer service. So because I know that you worked at Chick-fil-A, I know you can work at teams. I know that you're a very cool person to work with. There's so many other skill sets that you build from these other jobs. Maybe you worked at the grocery store, so you know how to handle customers. Maybe you know how to handle conflict if a customer is not happy. You know, maybe the price rung up higher than what they were expecting, and you were able to just calm the situation. You know, don't underestimate the skills that you develop from these other roles that you've had in the past, because they all contribute to who you are as a person. So I say put all your jobs there on LinkedIn so people can see it, whether you think it's relevant or not. It's something that you learned and developed in that role that makes you who you are today. So include all your jobs. You can use bullet points or just include a brief summary. I used to have bullet points on mine, but now I just do a brief summary. Make sure you're providing context around the value that you add. Just don't say what you did, but make sure that, especially if you use bullet points, make sure that each of your bullet points have numbers associated to show that to show your accomplishments. And always try to make sure that your tasks are measurable. Show the value that you added. You know, how did this organization value from you being there? Same if you write just a brief summary, just make sure you're including numbers. on there as well. If you're treasurer of your organization, talk about, you know, the $20,000 budget that you manage, or the $10,000 budget that you manage, things like that. Make sure you're including numbers all the time. And you also have the option here to add links and pictures. Maybe you interned at a certain company last year and you all took a Zoom picture, put that picture there, just so additional personality in that section. Okay. And let's see, education. So in the education, make sure you have your years there, just so recruiters can know, like, if you're looking for an internship or a full-time role. Volunteer experience, here you would just add, you know, your extracurricular activities, and anything you do outside of school, as well as if you hold any leadership positions in those extracurricular activities. And then the skills and endorsement section. This is probably the least used portion of your profile, but it's so important because these skills will show up when recruiters are looking for students on LinkedIn. You can select up to 50 skills, and you can just add a new skill and type in a new skill: problem solving, community, nonprofit. Any technical skills that you have, add them. It just increases the searchability of your profile. If someone is looking for someone skilled in mechanical engineering and you have 100 endorsements for mechanical engineering, it just adds to your credibility. How do you get endorsements? You get endorsements by giving endorsements. So go endorse your friends. Get a group of friends together and you all just endorse one another. It just goes a long way on your profile. And I also think that having recommendations on your profile is also an excellent idea. All you have to do for a recommendation is to go to someone's profile. Let me see. Go to someone's profile and click on the More button. And it says request a recommendation, or you can write a recommendation for somebody. So when you request a recommendation, it's going to ask you what your relationship is with this person, and what position on your profile did you work with this person. So say Ashley reported to me, and this was at my last role at Chevron. It automatically puts a tentative letter in here, but always personalize this. You can say, hey, Ashley, it was great working with you this summer at Microsoft for my internship. I would love if you could write me a recommendation just about, you know, the project that we worked on over the summer, and send it. And you'll get a notification when it's completed and when it's on your profile. So that's just something easy that you can do. You can ask your colleagues, your friends, family, your mentors, professors, anyone in your network. You can ask for a recommendation. One other feature that people don't know is available is this audio feature. So if you have a name that people mispronounce a lot, like mine, you can record yourself saying your name. So if I click on this button, hopefully it'll play. Wait, did y'all hear that? Oh, sorry, I guess it doesn't play, but if you go to my profile on the desktop version, I don't think this is available on mobile, but if you go to my profile on the desktop version, you'll be able to click on this button and hear me pronounce my name, just to let you know how to pronounce it. So I thought that was an awesome inclusion feature that LinkedIn recently included. Publishing articles is another great way to share knowledge and build your personal brand. To see if someone published articles, you can go to their activity and click on see all activity, and then this articles button right here. You can just see the articles that person has published. This is just another way to engage the person if you don't know them, and get to know them and what their interests are as well. Almost done with the profile section, and I'm happy to take any questions that you all have. Make sure your profile is at an all-star status. You'll see that here on your personal page. It's only visible to you, but make sure it's at an all-star status. And LinkedIn also allows you to export your contacts. So if you go up here to your name and select settings and privacy, you click on get a copy of your data, and you're able to export your articles, invitations, recommendations, and connections. So you'll just click on connections, and everybody that you're connected with, LinkedIn will send you an Excel spreadsheet with their name, their title, the company that they work at, the date that you were connected. I did this for the first time a few months ago, and I didn't even realize all the people that I was connected with and the companies that they worked for. So you're able to, like, I put filters on the company. So I'm looking for, who works at Google, who works at Microsoft that I'm connected to that I forgot about, quite honestly. And then you'll send them a message. Hey, so-and-so, I saw that we connected, it's back in September 2018. It's been a while since we chatted. I would love to catch up. So that's just a good way to just continue to build relationships with people on LinkedIn. So it takes about 10 minutes for LinkedIn to send you the spreadsheet, but it's super valuable. I also use it. I've also added some columns on there, like the date I reached out to the person, if they responded or not, and then the date I followed up with them. And I try to follow up with people like every 3 months or so, just to keep track of, who I've been talking to, who's been engaged, and just, build that relationship. So that's just another tip. Let's see. Connecting with others. Okay, so let me show you an example of this. I'm going to go to Claire Tompkins. So Claire is a university recruiting lead at TikTok. So a lot of you ask, how can I, connect with recruiters if they don't know me? How do I send them a code message? But I wanted to talk about the follow versus connect. So you see, Claire is my second degree connection. So first degree means that I'm connected with them already. Second degree means that we have connections in common, but we're not connected. And then third degree means that we're not connected. We don't have any common connections. So Claire and I both have one mutual connection. So she is my second degree connection. So you see how it says connect, but then her message is locked. So you can either click on more and follow her. So you can follow somebody and not be connected with somebody. If I follow Claire, I can still see her engagement. I'll still see when she likes other posts, when she posts, but we're just not connected. If I connect with her, I would always, always, always be sure to add a personal note. Never connect with somebody and not add a personal note, because more than likely they probably won't connect with you. So if you're connected with somebody, you're automatically following them. But if you're following them, you're not connected with them. And the only difference is being able to message them. So if I follow her, I still won't be able to send her messages. But if we're connected, I can send her messages. I hope that makes sense. But I follow a lot of people just because I still want to be engaged with what they're liking, what their engagement is on LinkedIn, and just to follow what they're posting. And if you don't know what to say when you connect, don't click connect and say, hey, is TikTok hiring? Oh, I need an internship. Let me know if you have any openings. No, do not say that. Take a look at her profile, read her about section to see if you all have anything in common. She's been at TikTok for 10 months. You can look at her other experience, but just try to find some commonality. You can also see like what her recent activity has been to see, what she's posted lately. And let's see what she's posted. What an awesome event ran by our cultures team this lunchtime. So you can say, oh, I saw the video that you posted about TikTok's team hosting this great community event. With a saxophonist, include that in your connection, so it shows that you've done some kind of research on who she is and her engagement on LinkedIn. Does that make sense? Please don't say, are y'all hiring? Can I get a job? No. show that you've done like at least 5 minutes of research on the person. Keep it short, and definitely make it about them, not about you. And then let's see, rounding out the profile, So common mistakes. So your profile should really just be a teaser of who you are so that hiring managers and others will want to connect with you and learn more. Don't have your about section too long, and make sure that you're quantifying your results. I think one of the questions previously was about LinkedIn versus LinkedIn Premium. I've had LinkedIn Premium before. I personally didn't really see any value in it, but everybody's different. I recommend just trying it for 30 days. If you see, I think you can try it out for free for 30 days, but just make sure you cancel it within those 30 days if you don't want to keep it. But yeah, try it out for 30 days, see if you like it. If you see a big difference, keep it if you would like, but just try it and see how it is. And you'll know if someone has LinkedIn Premium when they have this gold badge on their profile like this. This gold LinkedIn, that means that this person has LinkedIn Premium. So we just went through a lot. So I just wanted to pause right here to see if anybody had any questions before we move on.
I've unmuted everyone, so if you would like to ask a question, feel free to turn on your audio and ask a question.
Hi, my name is Jordan. My question is, I think you mentioned something about an all-star status when you scroll to the bottom. Can you explain what that was?
Yeah, I think this is just the amount of sections that's on your profile and that are completed that LinkedIn ranks you as an all-star status. So maybe you have the experience section, but you don't have any experience listed there. It may fall like right below an all-star status, but LinkedIn, that's just LinkedIn's way of saying, okay, you've completed majority or all of the sections in your profile picture, so you're pretty much good to go.
Got you. And you would like us to at least hit that,
Yeah.
fill it up.
Yeah, get to all-star status.
Awesome.
That way you know your profile is complete.
Got you. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
I have another question. Hello, everyone. My name is Cecilia. I'm a biological.
Anybody else, or we can move on?
Hi, good afternoon.
Hey, Steven.
Yeah, I'm from Stevens Institute of Tech in Hoboken, and one of my questions are like, what are the absolute like don'ts of LinkedIn? Like, what are the things like I should not mention at all, or like post?
I would keep it separate. Like LinkedIn is not like Instagram or Facebook. So you're not like posting a bunch of pictures of, you out. Just keep it like related to school, or maybe just a fun thing that you've done. I see a few people like post about, oh, I'm finally taking a vacation, and the picture of them like on vacation because it relates to their work, just finally taking a break from work, unplugging. Most of the don'ts that I see are people reaching out to recruiters like, hey, here's my resume. If you know a job that fits my background, keep me in mind. I'm like, okay. I don't even know you. So that's more around my don'ts, just the reaching out part. The reaching out part is so important, which is something I'm gonna get to next. But as far as posting, I'm also gonna talk about that, but everybody has something to share. I really don't see any inappropriate content, honestly, on LinkedIn. So I would just post about, things that you like, your interest, share ideas, encourage someone, just add value to the platform so you can get engagement.
All right, thank you.
No problem.
Stephen, what's your major?
Electrical engineering.
And Jordan, what was your major?
My major was biomedical engineering.
All right, thank you, everyone.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Okay, let's move on so we can get through the rest of this. Okay, so a lot of questions around building relationships and reaching out to people something that Stephen alluded to. So my first piece of advice is to get started with engaging in people's posts. If you're looking to work at, Google, and you're trying to work with recruiters, don't just send them a cold email. Start engaging in their post. And don't write like one or two words like agreed or a great idea. Like write a thought-provoking comment that continues the conversation. This not only allows the person who posted the information to see it, but also everyone else that responds to the post and sees it. So do this a few times, then you can send a personalized request and say, hey, so-and-so, I've thoroughly enjoyed your recent post, especially the one about XYZ. It really helped me put things into perspective. I would love to connect and continue to follow your career journey. So it lets them know that I've been following them for a while. I've been engaging in their content and their posts, and I'm not even asking for a job. I'm just saying, I'm looking forward, I want to connect with you so I can follow your career journey. That's more, they're more likely to accept that connection request versus, hey, I'm looking for a job. Do you have one for me? Because you know how many requests these recruiters get. So don't be like everybody else with the ask. Don't ask, just ease your way into the ask. So that's just a piece of advice that I have. And with the example I just shared, I made it about them. I'm not asking them for anything. I think someone was interested in renewables. So let me just, someone was interested in reaching out to someone about renewables. So let me just do that. So I'm going to type in renewables in the search bar. The search bar is going to be your best friend. Use it like a Google search bar. Okay, so I'm going to focus, I'm going to filter by people. And let's see. Chevron is the first person that pops up. So Danielle Lincoln. If I'm a student interested in renewables, I'm looking for opportunities in renewables. I see general manager of renewables at Chevron. So I'm going to click on her profile. And the first thing I'm going to do is see if she's active on LinkedIn. So if I scroll down, look, Danielle's posts created, shared, or comment on in the last 90 days are displayed here. Do you see anything? No, she has not been active in at least 3 months. So this is not somebody I'm going to send a message to or a connection request to because they're not active on LinkedIn and they won't see it. So I'll just go back to the search and find someone that's active on LinkedIn. Let's see. Groups are a great way to engage. So I filtered by people first, but I'm going to filter by groups and see what kind of renewable groups I can get involved with. So you see there's tons of groups around renewables that you can get involved with. I'm just going to click on the first one right here. You can request to join, and then you can see that your current connections in the group. And the one thing about groups is if I'm not connected to any of these people, if we're part of the same group, I can message them. So groups are a great way to message people, get engaged, and have a smaller community on LinkedIn. So that's a great way. So whoever was interested in renewables, I recommend joining like one of the renewables groups so you can be involved and see content specifically to what you're interested in. And you can message people for free. And also, I'm sure all of you have seen all the posts like, I'm so excited to announce that I've accepted, this internship or this job. That's another great way to find recruiters. So I'm just going to use Apple as an example. I'm going to search Apple intern. And I'm going to filter by people. No, I'm going to filter by post, sorry. I'm going to filter by post and find out who has accepted an internship with offer. It has been an amazing part to start a new perspective with the year. Let's look at hers. Okay, so she's talking about once in a lifetime opportunity to work at Apple. But look what she says here. I'm really grateful for my recruiter, Gina, right? Who's Gina? Gina helped her, let me open this in the new tab. Along with the entire team at Apple for providing me this opportunity and to my manager. Her manager, so who is that? That's probably the hiring manager, right? She's shouting out all these people. So these are the people that you want to follow and start engaging with their content or send a connection request to for his guidance during the entire process. I also want to thank Grish and this person and other members of the implementation team. So bam, she's already giving you 1, 2, 3, 4 names to research. So I just opened up Gina's. Look, she's a university relations recruiter at Apple. You can see she's active. She's commented on a few posts. And I would go to more and follow her, bam. Or I will look at her activity and see what she has posted so that I can make a comment and start engaging in her post. If you're looking for an amazing tech recruiter, join our, so she has a few posts right here about jobs, but that's another way you can find recruiters. So when next time you see this, I'm so excited to announce post, read the whole thing, see if they mention their recruiter, see if they mention their manager. Those are people that you want to follow and get connected with. Okay, and then if you want to save this, in these 3 buttons on the top right, you can click save for later. Save for later, that way you don't have to go search and find the post again. It will be in your search, in your saved search post. And let me show you where you can find it. So if I put save for later, it will come, you would go back to your profile and click right here, my items, and all of your saved posts, saved articles, anything you save on LinkedIn will be right here. So I save a lot of things. If I'm just scrolling through LinkedIn, I'll just save it so I can come back to it later. So that's another great way. So as I mentioned, your search bar is going to be your best friend. Let's look at some other examples. Say you're a data scientist major, right? I'm going to hire, and I'm looking for a job. I'm just going to type in data scientist hiring. I told you, you can use the LinkedIn search bar just like Google. I'm going to filter by people. And look, data scientist at Booz Allen Hamilton hiring. Data scientist 3 at Amazon, we are hiring. Data scientists at Google, we are hiring both interns and full-time. Use the search bar to look for things you are interested in. I'm hiring data scientists and engineers. We're hiring. So filter by people to find people to connect with, engage in their posts. You can also filter by groups, events, other posts that people may have said that they were hiring. We're looking for candidates for the following positions, go like, engage. This particular one was 2 days ago. It has 676 comments. So that means whoever commented on that post is getting a lot of views for their comment and people visiting their profile. So make sure you're commenting on highly engaged posts as well so people can find you. Let's look at another one. So I know Google is a big company. So Google Recruiter. And I'm gonna filter by people again. University recruiter at Google, Google recruiter. So all these people are recruiters at Google. I'm gonna go to a specific connection that I know of just to show you a quick tip. So Noel, I'm connected with him. First connection, he has LinkedIn Premium. So Noel is a recruiter at Google, and in his about section, this is part of your research when you're looking for that commonality. You can read, everything that he's about, but look what I find down here. What is this? His Calendly. He literally put his Calendly link in his about section. So you know what that means? It means that I can go to his Calendly and schedule a 15-minute conversation with him. So I would copy and paste this into my bar, and it'll come up. Let's see, it's taking a little long. 15-minute meeting, bam. I'm gonna select that, and I'm gonna look at his calendar. He's pretty busy, but in March, he has some availability. So if I'm a student interested in Google, a Google recruiter has his Calendly link in his about section. I'm gonna schedule a 15-minute meeting with him, right? Especially if they don't recruit at my school, and I'm gonna be prepared. I'm gonna have an outline of topics, and I'm not gonna waste his time, right? I only have 15 minutes. I wanna make sure it's a good 15 minutes and I'm actually getting something out of it. So I would ask some questions like, What makes a student stand out in the Google recruiting process? How can you review my resume and let me know if you have any tips or tricks that you can share with me? You know, how can I really get my resume through the ATS system? Like, what is it like to work at Google? You know, just any questions that you have, schedule a meeting with him and get to know him. That way you're building a relationship. Again, you're building a relationship with him. So maybe not connect with him immediately. I would probably schedule a meeting first, build a relationship, get to know him, have him get to know me. I will follow him until our meeting. And then after our meeting, I'll probably send him a request because at that point he knows my name. Make sense? Okay, let's see what else. If recruiters are not responding to you, who are the next best group of people to chat with? Anybody know? If recruiters aren't responding, who else should you reach out to? Interns. Interns are the next best group of people that you can reach out to. So if the Google and Microsoft recruiters aren't responding, find the other students that have interned at Google and Microsoft. Reach out to current or past interns. Follow the same approach as if you're reaching out to professionals and hiring managers by making it about them in your connection request. Remember that you have to build relationships. One more thing I wanted to talk about is the Alumni Tool. So I'm just gonna go to, let's see, Louisiana State. I'm gonna go here. So this is the Alumni Tool. So whatever school you attend, go to their LinkedIn page. On the left-hand side, you see alumni. So I'm gonna click alumni. And it'll tell me LSU has 177,104 alumni. So say I'm interested in working at Apple. And by the way, it'll show you where they live. Let's expand this. It'll show you where they live, where they work. You see most of them work at the school, Ochsner Health, ExxonMobil, Shell, Chevron Energy. It'll also tell you what they do. So business development, operations, and what they studied in school. So if I'm a student looking to intern at, I don't know, Apple, I'm just gonna type in Apple and it'll filter the alumni for Apple. So about 1,200 alumni on LinkedIn that went to your school. So that's your commonality when you send them connection requests. You can say, hey, I'm a sophomore computer science student at LSU. I also see that you went to LSU, and I'm interested in Apple. So that's a commonality. You're building that relationship with the person. And then you'll just scroll down. If you're interested in a certain city, just filter by that. If you want to stay in Baton Rouge or New Orleans, they also have some other companies over here, but you'll just scroll down. Engineering manager at Apple. Let's see, hardware design lead at Apple. So this is another way to connect with people. You all went to the same school. I have 2 shared connections with this person. So that just builds up your story when you connect, send that connection request. So that's another great tool to use to find people and build relationships. Let's talk about online events now. So under my network, you will see online events tab. So online events for you. So you see that I'm a part of several different groups, and these are online events that they have going on. You can also, on the left, click on events as well. But events are a great way to learn more about all these webinars these different companies are hosting, and just another way to engage on the platform. So overall, I mean, the best way to increase your profile visibility on LinkedIn is to be an active contributor. You do this by posting, writing articles, and commenting on LinkedIn. Comment on posts that have a lot of engagement to give yourself some visibility as well. The earlier you comment on the post, the more likely the person who posted will see your comments. And if that post starts ranking up tens of thousands of views, that means any comments left on there will also get some views and visits to your profile. And I get a lot of students saying, well, what am I supposed to post? I don't know anything. Yes, you do. You know so much information that you can share So share what you're passionate about. Tag someone you've learned from. After this event, post about this session, post about, you attended a NACME session and it was great and it was amazing. Tag NACME, tag me. That can be your first post. Give advice to other professionals or students, but just make sure you're posting valuable content. Everybody has something that they can benefit, that can benefit somebody else. So don't underestimate yourself as well. And to keep the LinkedIn wants you to keep the conversation going. So within your post, at the bottom of your post, have like a call to action, like tell me your thoughts, or what has been your experience, or do you have anything else to add, to keep people commenting on your post, because they'll comment and their network will see it the way that the algorithm is set up, and then it just keeps going on from there. But be sure to always reply to comments so people know that you're also staying engaged, and use it to connect with people. You can say, oh, I saw you recently commented on my post. It would be great to connect with you and learn more about XYZ. That's another way to connect and build relationships on LinkedIn. So remember that, finding content to engage with is really easy. There's so many different ways to do it, and the search bar is your best friend. So one more quick thing before I open it up for questions are looking for jobs. So in the jobs section, you can type in, like I typed in earlier, computer science intern or electrical engineering, and you can filter by intern. So right here where it says experience level, just click on that and click on internship. And then that should bring up all the electrical engineering internships. And if you're interested, I have it filtered on United States, but if you want to filter, in your hometown or wherever you're open to working, just put whatever city is there. But this is just another easy way to find jobs. And I hear a lot of students ask me, LinkedIn versus Indeed. Both of them are great ways to find jobs, but I feel like LinkedIn is better because you can actually build relationships with people. You can find the recruiters, find the hiring managers, find past interns, and build relationships with them. But both of them are great for job searching. And a lot of these have, right here, it'll have connections. So whatever job you find, if you click on it, it'll show you how many connections work at the company, and then how many alumni, we just talked about the Alumni Tool, how many alumni from your school work there. So that's just another way to connect with people and find that commonality between them. So that's all I have. I know that was a lot. Hopefully you guys learned something, but I'm happy to answer any questions. Like I said, I love LinkedIn. It's an awesome tool. Don't use it just to look for jobs. It's so much more power in LinkedIn. Happy to answer any questions you all have.
Everyone's unmuted right now. Don't forget to introduce yourself. So your name, your major, and the school that you'll attend.
I have a question. My name is Elizabeth Salcedo. I'm a junior mechanical engineering major at Texas A&M University. And
Hey,
I was wondering, once you do make that connection and you reach out to that person, and let's say they do reach out and you have a conversation, how do you maintain that conversation over time to where, let's say it's not currently the correct recruiting season for that company? How do you keep that up? That way, you still keep that, I guess, momentum and that they remember you later.
Yeah, so you mean if you reached out to a recruiter today, how to make it so that they remember you in the fall when it comes to recruiting season?
Yes.
Yeah, so I would just touch base with them, let them know what your plans are for the summer. Ask them if they have any big plans for their summer. Ask them just how things are going in their downtime, just to build, or ask them if they need any help with anything. What are their new projects that they're working on? Is there anything you can do to help maybe you work with a company, maybe you're interested in their company and you like survey your friends and give them certain questions to answer, and present and say, hey, you know, I surveyed my friends about this particular product that your company makes. It would be great if you could, some recommendations that we have to improve this product are X, Y, and Z. What are your thoughts? What do you think about that? Just to build that relationships and let them know that you're really interested in working there. So by the time August or September comes, they know that you did your research and your interest, and you can touch base with them again and say, hey, are you all, you know, going to be recruiting, what conferences are you all going to be recruiting at virtually this year, or maybe in person, or what schools are you going to be at? And we're still really interested in the internship, blah, 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 blah. And I'm sure they'll be more than happy to let you know, or connect you with hiring managers and let you know what the best way to get your foot in the door, because you've added value to them these previous months, and you're just not coming out of the blue like, hey, I need a job. If that makes sense. So yeah, always find a way to add value to them, if what their interests are and what the company is working on. I think it goes a long way.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hello, I have a question.
Hey, go ahead. I'm trying to find you.
Okay, I'm Donovan Amore. I'm a freshman, and
Hey,
I'm a
Donovan.
bioengineering major, and I go to UCSD. One question I have is that as like I don't really have a lot of experience like right now, since I just came out of high school recently and this is my first year in college. And also because of COVID, I haven't really gone out and done much besides the classes I'm doing right now. So how would I like make a LinkedIn profile or to attract recruiters or people that I might be interested in? So like, let's say like, hey, as a sophomore, I already have connections to where it's like I can go and get like internships and opportunities then, because I'm kind of unsure where to start, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so I know that there are several websites like General Assembly that offers like free like training classes on different topics. What was your major again?
Bioengineering.
Bioengineering. So I would say get involved with groups on LinkedIn. Type in bioengineering, filter by groups, see if there's any specific groups about bioengineering. Engage in that content from that group. See who the other members are in that group, and just start building a relationship. Hey, my name is Donovan. I'm a freshman bioengineering major. We're part of the same bioengineering group. I would love to learn more about your experience as a bioengineer in industry, just so I can be prepared for my internship next summer. So I would say start there. See if, engaging in posts, just get your whole profile filled out, get involved with some extracurriculars at school, activities at school, and put some keywords in your headline as well. Related to bioengineering. You can search bioengineering jobs and see like what the qualifications are, and just start working towards those qualifications, so that over the summer and between now and in the fall, so that you're ready in the fall to start for recruiting season, so that you're competitive for those roles. But I would say start with the groups.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and fill out your profile as best as you can.
Everyone, we have time for one more question.
Ms. Johnson, how are you doing today?
Hey, Albert, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you for coming and talking to us today. We all, for speaking for everybody, we all really appreciate the time that you take to really impart knowledge and wisdom. My name is Albert Edney. I'm a sophomore civil engineering student from St. Louis, Missouri, currently attending the illustrious North Carolina A&T Stadium. Aggie pride for any Aggies in the room. But my question is really all about just how you portray your personality, and what's one hobby that you've put on your LinkedIn profile and shared with everyone that's kind of done that.
A hobby that I've posted?
Yeah.
Yeah. So my hobby is helping students like you all. So I started a nonprofit called Student Career Studio. So in my profile, you'll see it in my cover photo. So I'm all about students and helping them. I actually just created a post. If you go to my recent activity, a post with a spreadsheet I created for all the internships still available. So check that out. So yeah, I show my personality and passion through my posts, just posting information and sharing ideas and experience related for students, really. And sharing other posts that I see, jobs, try to provide some insight, like don't just send a recruiter your resume and say, hey, remember me when this job comes out. Like, no, don't do that. Because a lot of recruiters aren't going to respond to you. So when I see it, I try to call it out so people can correct themselves, so they can increase their chances of getting a response. But yeah, you can show your personality through videos if you want to post videos on LinkedIn. So many different ways. Put pictures. Now they have stories on the mobile, so post some like behind the scenes shots of you like at work or just tired and mentally exhausted, something to show your personality. So it's just not all smiles and I got accepted to such and such all the time, but show your failures as well. I've been vulnerable on LinkedIn. Like I talked about how when I was in school, I was rejected by Exxon, Shell, all these other oil companies, but here I am at Chevron, you know, because, you know, we always see I'm excited to announce that I've finally got a job at Microsoft, not knowing that person probably got rejected 3 times before that. So I think we need to do more about sharing our failures to inspire others. Like it's just not a one time and then I just succeed and my whole career is just so amazing. Like we've all had struggles and I think we need to do a better job of sharing those as well as the wins. So that's kind of how I show my personality.
Absolutely. And that's real. That's real. We're going to talk more about that for sure. And also I'm trying to start a nonprofit myself, so I'll be sure to connect with you. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, happy to connect. Answer any other questions. I know we're out of time, but if you all have any other questions, anytime, I'm an open book. I make myself available. So just shoot me a LinkedIn request, send me a message. I'm happy to help any way I can.
Ecclesia, did you want to just mention about your gift that you're going to provide everyone?
Yeah, so my nonprofit created like a LinkedIn checklist for your profile. So Kevin will be sending that out with the replay from today. So follow me on Instagram, LinkedIn. It's at Student Career Studio. I post different opportunities that I see online. I'm all about seeing everybody secure the bag, seeing everybody win. So definitely, it's so much opportunity out there for y'all. It's so much. So just get in touch with me if you need help. I'll post it in the chat as well.
Galicia, thank you very much to you and to our partners, Chevron, and to everyone else. Thank you so much for participating in NACME Scholars. Happy New Year, and we look forward to participating in the next webinar coming up real soon. We have a special executive suite series coming up in February, so look for those details real soon. Beyond that, look for the link to complete the survey. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. Best of luck.
Enjoy the semester, everyone. Take care.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
you.